Hey guys, it's Rory from ANSgear. We've got a skull version of the HSTL goggle, and you can buy it like this with nothing in it. If you already have an HSTL goggle, you can take all that stuff out of your HSTL goggle, put it into the skull goggle, and make yourself a brand new goggle. But we're going to build one right here just in case anybody is doing some swaps or doing some changes, anything like that. We're going to put one together real quick because they're pretty simple to do. So we've got our frame or our mask assembly right here. We have our strap. We have our two pieces of foam. And all this stuff is available individually. So if you are already have an HSTL goggle and you've destroyed your strap, you can buy a new strap. You have dog ate the foam out of your goggle, you can buy new foam. All those things. You can buy the new lenses. You can get all that stuff. So you don't need to buy a whole new goggle if you've got one of these setups already. So we're going to put this in. This is a fire lens. We're going to put it in. So let's open this one up first and get it out. All right, so our fire lens is it's got that red mirror to it. It's got a lot of like purples and a little bit of like a blue tint also, but mostly reds and oranges on there for that fire. We're going to drop this in, and what you want to be careful or make sure of is that you put the bottom of the lens, which is the bridge right here, which goes around your nose, you get that into this crease. Now you can see it right there. You want to make sure that it is inside that crease, not sitting on the front of that crease. It actually needs to go inside there. So I found the easiest way to do this is to put it on like this. So we're outside of that crease right now, but what we do have is these two tabs up here. We've got them in to the tabs that are on the front. There's a tab slot right there and a tab slot right there. We want to make sure that those are going in. Once those are in, and or just lined up, they're not going to go in as far as we want them to right now. We're going to take our like a towel, well, unless it's your goggle and don't care about getting fingerprints on it. And I'm going to grab the top of it and I'm going to pull the bottom down so that I can get that into the bridge right there. So I've done that. Then I'm going to make sure that my bottom tab is in, my top tab is in, top tab is in, and then I can see this bottom tab right here is out of its groove. So I'm going to just slide it forward, push it down in there, and make sure all of my tabs, tab, are in their spots, and that my lens is inside the bridge slot right there. Once we've got that done, it's pretty straightforward from there. We've got these little eyelets on the side right here, and those match up with these little posts that are on our goggle strap right here. So the first thing we want to do, make sure that our lettering is in the right spot. Actually, you know what we'll do first? We'll put the foam in because it's easier for you guys to see the foam if I don't have a strap on the back right here. So this one right here is going to just lock in. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tabs right there. If you look at this piece of foam and you look at where they've molded it, there is an arrow that says up on there. Now that arrow does not mean this is the way the foam needs to face when you're sticking it into your goggle. It just means that this is how they molded it. So don't follow this little arrow that says up. If anything, turn it over because it needs to face down. So if you want to go by that arrow, make sure it's facing down. If not, if you're not going by anything, we want to make sure that the, if you can see this tab on the end down here, see how it's closer to this side than it is to this side? We want that to be on the bottom. So when we put them in, we want those tabs to be at the lowest point because you can see that the slot that it fits in is low right here. If you try to put it in and it doesn't fit, flip it over is really what we're getting at right here. So I'm going to start with the middle. I'm going to snap the middle in. I'm going to go to the next side right here. And I'm kind of going to bend it back and put it in and then push. Bend it back so it will fit in, push. Bend it back, put it in and push, bend it back, put it in and push. You kind of have to bend it to hook it around and then you can slide it all the way through. So there's our top foam on. Our bottom foam right here. We're going to start with the clip for the bridge furthest away from me. So I'm putting it in this way. If you try to put it in this way with the clip facing backwards, it's not going to work. We want the clip facing towards the goggle. So we go inside here, give this a little pinch so we can get up into there, and they're just going to snap it in. So we've snapped the bridge piece down inside there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the clips. Bend them back, tuck it in, bend it back, tuck it in, bend it back, and bend it back. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And then just kind of give it a good squeeze, push in there. And there we go. There's our foam. All done. All right. Now we can do our goggle strap. So we're going to lay out our goggle strap. And what I do is I make it as long as possible. It's going to give you the most workable space right there. You can always tighten it up when you're done. We want to make sure our lettering is facing the right direction. We don't want to put it on upside down, or maybe you do want to put it on, I don't know. You can put it on upside down if you want. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to come from the inside of the goggle first. So we're going to push this tab in right here. You can see me pushing on it right there. That'll give us enough space to get this through and come out the other side. So we got to come through the back right here, around to the front. If you try to come from the outside in, then it won't line up right on there. So inside out. Then we want to make sure that our key is lined up right over the top of our goggle frame. We're going to take our strap, turn it sideways because we want these to line up with these. Turn it sideways. We're going to push it through, and then we're going to turn. I'm looking inside there. You can see how it has come through on the other side. Then I just rotate like that. And that locks that goggle lens in place. And I can pull that through the other side. Coming over to here, from the inside through. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure that our key is lined up. And again, I'm using this microfiber to keep my fingerprints off of it, but if it's your goggle, you can do whatever you want on there. All right, now I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to push it through, and then I'm going to spin it back. And there we have it. Our tabs are locked in. We can see on each one, that's locked in there. That one is locked in. Oh, it's backwards. That one's locked in. It was reversed. It was hard for me to see that. So those are locked in and they're rotated the right direction. Our strap is on right side up, if that matters to you. And then that's it. If we need to, we can pull this tight. If it's going on your hand, we can make that closer together so our strap tightens up and we're ready to go. And then you just go backwards if you want to take it all apart. So it's super simple. You can build it yourself. You can buy the parts. You can do whatever you want. But that's how to put the skull goggle together. If you happen to have an HSTL goggle and you're transporting over or porting over to the skull one, or maybe you're just buying parts and building one or changing out lenses. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, this is it. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Check out the goggle, the HSTL Skull Goggle at ANSgear.com.